Hello, welcome to Quackalope, and today we're taking a look at a game that I didn't know about probably a week or two ago. I've seen photos popping up all over social media and a lot of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of. Today we're going to look at Baseball Highlights 2045.
Hey, if anybody's going to be talking about Baseball Highlights 2045, yeah, scoot over there, buddy, scoot over there. You should be talking to me, Philip Millman, the world champion of Baseball Highlights 2045. You can see here the Commissioner Ralph Trophy is what we like to call the Ralphie.
Yeah, nice trophy.
It's an awesome trophy made of brass, premium trophy material. Premium.
Nice to meet you, Philip.
Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. And nice to meet all of you. And let me tell you, there's nothing greater than Baseball Highlights 2045. It's my number one game. Same with Alex Goldsmith of Duke of Dice. Too bad he doesn't have one of these trophies, but I got it, and I'm happy to tell you all about it.
So I'm not very familiar with Baseball Highlights. It seems like an interesting game.
It's a fantastic game. It's a totally
fantastic game.
Yeah, let me tell you about the game from the two-time consecutive world champion.
Okay.
And let me tell you, folks, I know what I'm doing. Baseball Highlights 2045 takes place in the near future. Baseball had gotten a little bit boring, which some people do complain about, and they decided to make it a 6-inning game. Well, when that didn't work, they decided to add in robots, cyborgs, and the Naturals, of course, continue to play. Here, though, we are playing as coaches, and the game plays like an ESPN highlight reel. This is a great game, my number one game, even if I weren't the two-time world champion.
The two-time world champion.
Consecutive.
I honestly don't even know what that means.
That means I won twice in a row.
Clearly.
At Dice Tower Convention that we had both this year and the previous year.
Okay.
I did really well. I won. Poor Evan, poor Alex, they didn't make it into the playoffs, but yours truly, having made it through the pod play as the number one person through the pod play, I was ranked number one. I got crushed this guy from Canada. Can't trust those Canadians. And then I played against Chris Simone, good kid, smart kid, beat him. 4 games to
all that's great.
number one. I'm number one.
Could you tell me a little bit more about what this game is? I still don't feel like I know.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, folks, there's a lot of baseball simulation games out there. There's Appa Baseball, there's Stratomatic. They're fine, but they're boring. They take too long. This is a great 5-minute game. And let me tell you, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this game is when I started first playing this at BGG-Con when the beta version was out against Mike Fitzgerald and against Ralph Anderson, lost to them horribly. I'm now number one. So I want to make sure that you realize that it took a while for me to develop my skills. It was an evolving process. I had to really learn this strategy. There's a lot of depth in this game that most people don't realize. They just say, hey, you're throwing cards, you're stopping somebody else. No, there's a lot of stuff going on there. And you really should look at it as, what is my opponent thinking? What is he thinking? Can I get inside his head? I bet I can get inside your head.
You might be able to. I know a lot about you. Can you tell me a little bit about this game?
Sure. As I said, this takes place in the near future. We got robots. Let me hear it. Here's a robot. We got some Naturals. This is Barry Sosa. Great card. Hits 2 home runs. And we got a cyborg who stops other cyborgs. We got a cyborg over here who stops robots. It's a great game. So we're going to really go into this game. Don't worry about it. And I will show you, my dear fans, how well I can play this game, and I can teach you some of the tricks that I used to win 2 consecutive world champions. Something Alex has never done, just letting you know. Let me tell you why I love this game, and this will tell you a little bit more about this game. First of all, I love baseball. Do you have to love baseball? Absolutely not. But this game really brings out that theme of the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. After the Black Sox scandal, but when baseball was still pure, when you had players who really were in touch with the fans, didn't have these doping problems. Let me tell you, this game is great. And it makes you think. It has interesting decisions. You gotta get into somebody else's head. It's so amazing. And let me tell you, having won 2 consecutive world championships in a row, this game really rocks. And it really makes me, don't move my Ralphie. So this game is awesome. I mean, look at this guy. Pure brass there, guys. Pure brass. Can't beat that.
Could you tell me a little bit about the game?
Sure, let me tell you a little about the game.
I mean, because I feel like I still don't know anything about this game.
Okay, so what this game is you play a bunch of mini games to create a full series, and whoever wins the series wins the game. I apologize, but even great coaches like myself need reading glasses. But the first thing you do is you take out 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These cards represent your lineup for this game. Now, I'm playing Kansas City, which is the team that I took to the 2nd World Championship. The first team was New York, which is a random draw.
All right, get to the game, please.
So this game is really a back and forth. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be playing a card which is going to either have an offensive immediate action or a defensive immediate action. Offensive is the green, defensive is the red. Once you do that, you take a look. Is there any immediate action? No. Then you threaten a hit. So in this case, I'm playing a natural who's threatening an average single. Now, it's up for the other player to respond. Does he try to stop this single, or does she try to do something else? So my good friend over here decides he's going to play a robot that is threatening 2 singles. Remember, even though it's one player, this is playing like a highlight reel. So he's now threatening 2 singles. My single goes off, and now it's for me to choose. So let's say I use this card, which cancels a hit and threatens a single. So one of his hits goes away because it's been stopped, and his little slow runner goes to first. And it's going to go back and forth. There are different offensive cards. For instance, there's gloves, which cancel a hit. There's double play or pickoffs, which remove runners from the base. And cyborgs, who are the better pitchers, can actually stop all hits against a specific type of card. Remember, we have naturals, cyborgs, and robots. So, for instance, this cyborg, named Fernando Feller, he stops all hits against a robot. So if you have a robot, say like this, which hits a single and a home run, this guy stops both of them. We also have naturals like Lou Leather over here that will stop 2 hits using a glove. And so you have this back and forth, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most runs wins. Now here's where the game really gets interesting. What you can't see yet, but you will see soon, each one of these cards has a green circle. That is the amount of money each player produces every game. So you count up how much you made. So in this case, I've made $8, and then I go to this free agent line. When you don't have the expansions, this is 6. When you have the expansions, it's 10. And then with my $8, I get to decide what I want to buy. So I take this card. I'm going to take this robot named Big Mitt. He goes onto the top of deck. Unlike most deck builders, which put it at the bottom of the deck, he goes into the game next play. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of the deck constantly expanding, I have to take one of these cards and move it into the minor leagues. So this player, who even though he produces $2, all he does is hit singles, he's going to go into the minor leagues, never to be seen again. These cards go into the dugout, and then I take out the next 6 cards. So you have this back and forth. As the game progresses, you can either play best of 3, best of 4, however you want to do it. There's multiple ways of doing it. Of course, there's tournaments like we have at Dice Tower, where it's the World Championship, where I won twice in a row. And we start with the next game. Each mini game takes about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on AP. And the whole thing altogether will probably take about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how quickly people play. That's the game in a nutshell, but I can go into more detail about the various strategies that I use to win the Baseball Highlights 2045 World Champion.
I think we're probably near the end of this video. There's a limit on how much I can upload per cycle, so I really do. I appreciate your time. I really do. I'm excited to give this game a look. I do have some deadlines, though. So
okay, well, just so your players know, this is the Lord Ralph, the Commissioner Ralph.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us for Baseball Highlights 2045. We really appreciate you being here.
Play the game, it's great.
If you've made it to this point in the video, just like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.
And I hope to see you soon playing Baseball Highlights 2045.